all day. I dream about yap, yes, all day. I dream about yapping all day. I dream about yap, yes, all day. I dream about yapping all day. I dream about comic yapping. This manhwa is from the studio that made Solo Leveling, and so the art seen here will be quality. Let's see how the story holds up. Look at this ugly thing. It seems to be fighting this guy. What a place to stab! Inside its mouth, which means he had to reach deep inside to get to the back of the throat, and those teeth don't look like a welcome mat. But he's successful in taking it down, and we learn that he can finally defeat a monster, while this other guy calls him an unranked. Then we get a sense of just how powerless he is in compared to the people fighting the real monsters, these giants. We've seen this before, a world taken over by monsters, and the weak who need money do monotonous jobs like being a porter for carcasses, while the lucky awaken powers that make them strong enough to defeat the monsters. Then we learn about the abyss and the powers that the awakened have. After reading a few similar manhwas, the premise is very familiar, and our main character laments his unawakened weak self. He then turns and sees everyone dead. Before he can comprehend what is happening, a voice is heard talking to him. And like I said, this is going to be some awesome art. This creature is so well designed, and I think it's even wearing a shirt made of skulls. We get a name and rank, Asmodeus, and it's triple S ranked, usually the highest of ranks in manhwas. Our MC goes in with his butter knife, and he hopes that by making a wonderful breakfast in bed for the monster, he can survive another day. And honestly, I don't know what he was expecting. I bet this might not even hurt that much. It just happened so fast. No, wait, it really hurt. I think there's like a dark flame engulfing his broken dead arm. But then we get this shot, and in the continuity of the story, it makes no sense. He just got hurt, he's writhing on the paint, now suddenly he's sitting up and he's staring back at this creature. There's a slight disconnect here. He dies and gets some random art of, I don't know, planets, maybe comets? And then he comes to be looking up at this glowing guy with perfect hair forever, head towards the light. Head and shoulders towards the light. He finally gets an authority. It's bestowed upon him by the spirit of Fabio. This awesome looking hellhound creature then comes for him, and he's bestowed with a key. I don't know what the key is. Our MC wakes up to what sounds like bullying. What did Five Fingers say to the face? Slap! Who goes around yelling slap out loud as they do it? Our MC, Taehyun, wonders how a kid who bullied him in high school is here right now. And if you guessed regression, because it's in the title of the manhwa, you win a prize? We get a bloody looking status screen. Full name, Kim Taehyun. Now age 19, rank F. And skill? Oh, we don't get to read that yet. Armed with the knowledge of the future and fighting skills he honed over his past life, he attacks back. I always love looking at the faces of the weak underlings as their boss goes flying. Quick little fighting scene to show that with his future knowledge and experience from regression, he can take on these untrained awakened without needing to use a skill. We get some inner monologue about how hard he struggled as a non-awakened by training and learning everything he could just to make up for his lack of ability. And then it's also he can tell the reader what we can already guess through this art. This is a form of over-explanation. show or even just tell, but don't do both at the same time. That's a waste. Well, then his bully turns into Geodude, and I love that. They put on a giant nose on him as if the artists are subtly making fun of him. Geodude! 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 They fight, and Taeyeon lands a clean blow to his face, but he brushes it off because his C-rank stone armor is too strong for a normal punch. Then he gets blown away. We learn about skill ranks with this neat art, and finally get to learn what Taeyeon's skill is called. Predation. What does predation mean? A biological interaction where a predator kills and consumes another organism for energy. Look at those sharp teeths. Predation at only rank F looks pretty powerful, and it rips right through the stone skill. Bully defeated, predation complete, and we learn two things from this panel. His rank has gone up to E by preying on another awakened successfully, and that he's gained the skill of the one he preyed on. A bunch of boring stuff happens, and then he beats up this guy, which leads him to learn that his skill also makes him resistant to abnormal statuses. Sure, why not? Just more plot armor. A gate break is occurring. The monsters break through the barrier, and boy, does the production team really like teeth. Also, what dental plan do they have in the abyss? Because I don't see a single cavity here. Maybe he flosses? Our hero knows the future. So he shows up at the gate break as this massive crowd runs for their lives. He's gonna save some people. He activates his newfound stolen power. Splat! Smash! Power right in the kisser! He learns more about his power. Won't activate if he's a little sweepy. He eats the defeated monsters and raises his rank again. He's growing so fast and starts to get dreams of grandeur. This A rank kills the ogre right in front of our main character, but the guy has licked a few too many Temu toys. Predation warns our main character about the skill activation. He's just, what's happening? And then stabby! Something's gone seriously wrong. I do love that the battlefield is on the chest of the dead ogre. I like the design of this villain, and stealth is such a useful skill. It would be a shame if someone took it from you. Also, we learn this guy's a complete psycho, true villain. As they go to fight, the ogre awakens. Then the villain notices Taeyeon and goes in for the kill, even taking the time to clean his blade first with his tongue. I'm not gonna do it, no. Instead of being terrified, Taeyeon giggles as he blocks the attack. Oh yeah, look at me, all cool with my hands in my pockets as I kick you. Hands in my pockets as I kick you away. Hands in my pocket, whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm so cool, look at me, ha ha. Kick, 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 kick. They fight a bit, and then we get this neat shot. But the dialogue's so on the nose and boring in comparison to this awesome art. The villain uses his stealth skill and disappears because he knows he can't beat our main character without it. He attacks, and it's super successful. And Taeyeon is confused, but there's no time to think about it as he can only defend to not take a critical hit. We get more info on how his stolen skill works, and then some cool art. Taeyeon says he's done testing his skill, and the villain is visibly confused. Predation activated, and even the villain senses just how wicked the mana is that Taeyeon is exuding. The villain cloaks and runs, but predation knows when you are sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows if you've been bad or good, so just get eaten for goodness sake! The next day, our MC's mission to grow stronger continues, and we get to see his status again. Looks like he didn't grow that much, after this last rank up. Potions! I love whoever the artist of this story is. Taya needs to hunt, but it's illegal to hunt without a license. So that's where this shot comes in. He goes to an unexplored, hidden dungeon that, of course, his future knowledge knew of, and he's greeted by these lovely Lolitas. This. What is this? How does he know? He barely has grasped how his skill works, yet he knows this. More cool art, and our MC just loves having his hands hidden in his pockets. I'm so cool. I'm super cool. Woo. Now, is this on purpose, or does the artist just not like drawing his hands? So he defeats the spiders and surprise, surprise, gets another skill, paralysis. Taeyeon works out, kills monsters, and sells their stones to the Alchemist Guild for money to buy more potions and gear. Rinse and repeat. Status screen time! This is what it looks like after a week of repeating all those actions. And now he's rank C. We've upgraded from the basic bully to the bully boss, an S-ranked awakened and rich Nepo baby. Taeyeon decides he could just gobble him up when blue-haired lady steps in to defuse the whole situation. Who is she? Will she stop the fight or get caught up in the predation skill as well? Is she a love interest? Well, you'll have to read it for yourself. Regressing with the King's Power is just okay. It has great art that pulls all the weight and some interesting characters and skills, but the dialogue's mediocre. The storyline's just a power creep that happens too fast, has no real deeper thought or meaning behind it. The main character is boring, with no personality, just a mindless creature that has no interesting qualities, other than that he likes to fight with his hands in his pockets. Wow, wow, yeah. Bleh. I give Regressing with the King's Power 3 out of 5 clean set of ogre teeth. Brought to you by Abyss Dental. And remember, next time you eat a juicy steak, you're using predation on a cow to gain its power. Moo! Cheers. Hands in my pockets as I kick you away. Hands in my pockets.